Nancy Hawkins. Is Jeanette Erspalmer in the assembly? No. The next group will receive a scholarship of $5,775 in tuition for the year. And there are 4 people in this group. Peter Bremer, Kelly... Kelly Graves, Yoko Ito, and John Petit. And the last group who will receive full scholarships, there are 3 in this group, and their scholarship amounts to $7,700 each. Laurie Clemens, Jamie Gonzalez, and Karen Prochaska.
Two years ago, the Marymount faculty decided to provide a scholarship to a returning sophomore who has demonstrated academic excellence in a broad range of subject areas in their first year and who shows potential for growth in their second year. Faculty contributions are matched by contributions from the Board of Trustees. As this year's Faculty Senate President, I would like to congratulate this year's recipient and wish him well in his future academic pursuits. Please congratulate with me Rudy Garcia. So now begin all the student service and associated awards. Giving you the CARE Award, Sister June Patricia.
CARE, as you know, means creating a real effort. And freshmen are invited to join this association through the recommendation of faculty, staff, and other CARE members. We always start out with a good-sized group, and as things go on, we sort of dwindle down. So the awards I have for this evening are the people who were persistent and who were always there. And the CARE people have sponsored such things as welcoming you into your residences and first week of orientation. We've also helped you out in the blood drive, or you've helped us out. I don't know how you want to look at that. The Thanksgiving dinner, Kris Kringle, Flower Day, and a number of other things that we have supported. So we've been a pretty active group. And then this year, our newest adventure, if you will, was to take on Staying Alive, which we presented to the fall year. But for the students that have persevered through the entire thing, I'd like to present the awards of recognition. And so I'd ask you to hold your applause. I'll just call out their names, ask them to come up, and then we can applaud for them all. Carmen Ramos, Sean Fitzpatrick, Julianne DeMarco, Felicia Dorham, Tina Marie Lopez, Tim Olson, Jill Woodburn, Suzanne Edwards, Monica Martinez, Stuart Crystal, and even though he's not here this semester, Peoples. I'd also like to give some recognition to people that I think that have done an outstanding job in an area that sometimes goes unnoticed. Bill, Data, and Carmen for, what is that place? Wayland. I'm now Judy Hotchkiss, not here tonight, and she wanted to especially thank people who helped with the blood drive, which this year was.
You may not know we have 4 teams. We have men's basketball, women's tennis, and soccer. The men's and women's tennis teams will have their awards banquet this week, so they'll announce their awards at that time. For men's basketball, we had a co-MVP this year. Both of these individuals were unanimous selections to the Southern California All-Conference team. And the MVPs are Andre Jackson and Chris Stallworth. Andre Jackson has signed a letter of intent and will accept a basketball scholarship at Westmont College. Chris Stallworth has signed a letter of intent and will take a basketball scholarship at San Francisco State. The soccer awards, Coach Dr. Alan Franz.
Record in basketball. I just have 2 awards. To single out 2 people for contributions to the club. First of all, I have an award for Tom Connolly in recognition of his services as soccer club team manager. Tom apparently did not heed my broad hints intent, but I think he deserves some special credit for the often rather thankless task of being a manager. And I'm afraid I may be over too in terms of the effectiveness of my broad hits. I have a second award to Brian McManus in recognition of his outstanding commitment to soccer. We had many outstanding young men come out and play with the team, and I think Brian was particularly distinguished by his commitment and devotion at games and practice.
I have to tell you that these girls put in a lot of hard work. Hours and hours of practice, participation in rallies, participation in all home games, and they really did a great job in helping to spirit the team on to a very successful season. As an assistant coach, I really do appreciate that, and I appreciate their hard work and their consistency. Now Heidi Russell, Hal Kaufman will come up and present cross-cultural awards.
year, and we have had a very successful year. I hope that all of you have been touched by something that the club did this year, because all of the members of the club, and particularly the officers, put a lot of work into it. Beginning of the year, we had a potluck before the first dance. We celebrated Mexican Independence Day, Yemeni National Day. We worked very hard on Club Day. We presented an entire week of international celebrations this year and finished up with Cinco de Mayo and Japanese Children's Day this past Wednesday. I'd like to ask the officers of the club to please come forward. Monica Martinez, President. Bill Palikit, First Vice President. Hani Rashed, Vice President. Mohammed Fawaz, Vice President. Antoine Perez-Ilzade, festival, an awful lot of people helped out, and we wouldn't have been able to do a festival if each one of these officers had not taken on some special role during that week. President Monica handled the entire festival on Friday. Bill Palikit put together videos and was really a support person throughout the entire festival. Mohammed Fawaz put together a beautiful mass in conjunction with Father Sean, of course, for Wednesday. And Juan Perez-Ilzade put together a lovely panel. And I think they would like to recognize some of the people that helped them.
Okay, for the International Festival, I'd like to thank Hani Rashed, Budi Trisari, Kareem, Judy Fainton and Carissa Navarez, Billy Palcat, Holly Fernandez, Kiyomi Enomoto, Jenny Frejo, Mr. Spurgeon, and Karen Huen. Those people were all in charge of a specific table from their country. And for our entertainment, Jim Duran. For the Gaelic singing, Kiyomi, Hiroko, Yoko, and Naomi for the Japanese oboe dance.
For the panel, I would like to recognize George Busio, Mr. Spurgeon, Alan France, Mimitan, Hannibal Quevedo, Mohammed Fawaz, and Melanie Season.
There are a couple of people who also worked particularly hard this year on several things during the year. And I'd like to recognize Brian Pomerantz for all of his work. Hannibal Tebedone. And another member who is not here this semester but worked awfully hard last year, Jim Peoples. I'd like to call one person back up to the podium who really supported everything that the club did, attended every meeting, went above and beyond the call of his duty as a vice president, supported every single thing that happened on this campus, I think, and that's Bill Palikit.
Money, Marymount? No money here.
$20 bill. crisp and new, and waiting for someone's pocket. However, you'll have to be able to answer this question. On September the 25th of this year, in the city of Rome, an event of tremendous importance for California will occur. Identify the event for me.
The Pope's coming back.
Julie?
The Pope's coming back.
Raise your hand. Muhammad? Muhammad is Islamic. He comes from the Muslim religion.
It's the beatification of Sarah.
Exactly. I will tell you that. Well done, Muhammad. Well done. Now, someone asked here in the second or third row, who was Sarah? Allow me to share with you, my dear Marymounters, who Sarah was and is in eternity. Father Sarah was the first missionary to come to this territory from Spain over 200 years ago. And so he began the whole civilization which we now enjoy in these territories. The Pope himself will canonize Father Sarah, or beatify him rather, which is the last stage on the way to canonization, on the 25th of September. And allow me to point out something to you, the papal flag, which is here to my left. Notice the symbols. Do you see them? The keys, okay? And then the tiara, or the triple crown of the Pope. The keys, of course, symbolize the spiritual dimension, Jesus giving to Peter the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and then the crown, which is worn by temporal rulers or kings. Why so? Because they are responsible for the material development of peoples. And so the constant responsibility of the church here in California and worldwide has been the material and the spiritual development of peoples. Now, Professor Alan Bloom, for those of you who have read his works, criticizes those of us who live in the United States of America in his phenomenal work, which I'm reading at the moment, called The Closing of the American Mind. And he says that we don't have any idea of our roots or of our cultural and intellectual or spiritual identity. So today, my dear students, I want to address that and to tell you about our roots and about the symbols that continually surround us here at Marymount. My own prayer for all of us, and I know that in many hidden ways, that you yourselves work for the good of California, for its spiritual and for its material prosperity, and indeed for the good of the whole world. And it is as a symbol of that that the Archbishop allows me to remain in your presence. However, I myself have, as I said, my hands, my ears, my eyes, but above all, my heart is extended through a group of people who have helped me in innumerable ways, and I want to recognize them this evening. However, pay very close attention to me. In recognizing them who officially helped me, I want to recognize each and every one of you and for the hidden work that you do for God, His kingdom, and His world. So many of you, when I look around here this evening, have been in my office, have asked me of various opportunities for outreach. You have never received any public recognition, and you don't want to. And you know what? That's the way it should be, because your recognition will be in eternity, when God will welcome you home as His extension in space and in time. Mother Teresa of Calcutta has a beautiful expression, and again, that's my second lecture, which I'll give next year. Mother Teresa of Calcutta has a lovely expression. She advises all of us to do something beautiful for God. So in recognizing this list of people this evening, I invite each and every one of here, I encourage each and every one of us here at Marymount to continue to do something beautiful for God. If you could hold your applause, I would ask the following people to come to join me at the podium. And I will not give them their certificates because in a way a certificate to me will return to dust and to ashes. Jesus says to us, don't build your treasures here on earth because eventually it will rust and return to dust and ashes. Rather, build your treasure in heaven because it is spiritual. And so at a later date, tomorrow at our regular meeting in my office, I will share with them these pieces of paper. But today I want to publicly acclaim them, and in doing so, to publicly acclaim each and every one of you for that which is something beautiful that you do. Danya Mugadhan, Tim Olsen, Lynn Parody, Stuart Crystal, Brian Pomeranz, Tobin Rippo, David Romo, Tia Lagura, George Valdez, Rob Easley, Julie Riggs, Kathleen Mars, Bill Zamudio, Mohammed Fawaz, Amir Dia, Matt Brennan, Eduardo Martinez, Joanne Gerson, Sam Newman, Jenny Friero, Angela DeSanto, Ashley Humple, Julianne DeMarco, Regina Garcia, and last but certainly not least, Tom Nugent. In recognizing these, the peer ministers, dear friends, I recognize you and what you do for God. May you continue